Hey, this is Trina. God has a purpose and a plan for your life. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let's rejoice and walk in the love that He created you to walk in. Moments, a sequence of events that occur within a day. Special moments, a sequence of moments in a day where God shows up. Invite Him with His sweet love and glorious light into every moment of every day. I just want to make this place brighter. I just want to make this day lighter. And I just want to make this life better. To shine the light, to smile that smile, to sing a new song. And I just want to make this place brighter. I just want to make this day lighter. I just want to make this life better, brighter, lighter, better. God bless you. You've been Tringle.
You're listening to Pocket Full of Sunshine, a broadcast filled with hope, inspiration, great gospel music, Tringles, and real-life stories. Thank you for listening, and may God richly bless you. Now here's your host, Trina Wyckoff.
Matthew 5:7 tells us, "Let your yes be yes and your no be no." Simple and straightforward. I like it when the Bible is to the point. Black and white, no gray areas, nothing to dispute about this. In other words, if we say we're going to mow the yard, then we should mow the yard. If we accept a new position, then we should eagerly do the work. When we commit or agree, we are virtually saying, yes, I will do whatever is requested of me. I think we relate well to stories, and they can give a great testimony of the grace of God in our lives. Well, I ran to the altar to kneel and pray. Christ came in and He changed my ways. Out with the old and in with the new. So excited, gotta tell you. Testify. Telling the story, how He changed my life. Testify, how my life is hid in Christ. Testify. Well, I went to the river to be baptized. I come up shouting and testify. Got a new life and it's in Christ. Well, Christ in me makes me testify. Testify. I'm telling the story, how He changed my life. Testify. How my life is hid in Christ. Testify. like to share this story with you. A father owned a small business, and his family helped him run the business. It was a family business. One very hot particular day, the father received a phone call and had to leave immediately to attend some very urgent family matters out of town. However, there was work that still needed done that day. It was pressing, and it just wasn't able to wait until the next day. So since his children worked for him, he called both of them up and he said, "Hey, I have planned to finish up this work today that we'd started, but I'm going to have to leave town immediately to check on another situation that requires my attention right now. I know that this is your day off, but I need your help or we're going to lose a lot of money, and we just can't afford to do that. So I'm asking you to please go back to work today, and I'll make it up to you later." Now, the father got off the phone after calling both of his sons who worked for him and explained how the work needed attention. He got off the phone and he was bewildered. He didn't ask them to do a lot of extra work, but he really did need their help. And he just couldn't understand how they could deny him after all he had done for them. Well, at least one of the two, Joe, had agreed to come. But where was his son's John commitment to the family business? Or better yet, to his father? He thought, I don't ask either one of them to do extra very often. I just don't understand. And he was starting to get frustrated by the response of John. He tried very hard to just drop the matter and be happy that Joe had agreed to finish the urgent work. Now, the father was gone until the next day, and upon returning, he checked on the work's progress while he was away. It was very interesting, to say the least, when he discovered what had occurred. What do you think? Did Joe and John both show up and work side by side until the job was finished? Or did no one show up and honor their commitments to the family business and their boss, who just happened to be their father? Now, when you work for family, it sometimes can be a little easier to get away with things because it is family. You know, maybe one person can get out of things easier than another. Possibly favorites are involved, just to be honest. But could that have been what happened with John, who told his father he wouldn't come? Was he the kid that just got by with missing work easier than Joe? Or did the father have higher expectations out of one of them? Who really knows? Then there's the other side of the coin. It can also be more difficult to work for family sometimes because they expect more out of you because you are family and the other people are just employers. Regardless of the scenario, the work needed to be done while the father was out of town, and he was grateful that Joe had handled the situation head on. Now, it was the next day, and the father returned to work, and he found both of the boys at work doing their jobs. And the father turned to Joe and said, "I want to thank you so much for coming to work yesterday so we didn't lose money. I will see to it that you are compensated well." Now, as the father was speaking those words to Joe, guilt just kind of came all over him, and he kind of started staring at the ground and shuffling his feet. He appeared quite nervous and just couldn't sit still. Well, Dad, about that, you see, I was planning to come, and then, well, you know how it is. I just got to thinking about what needed done, and since you weren't here, I made an executive decision. I felt like it was good. I contemplated it for a while, and I just thought you would agree with me that the work could really wait. It could really wait until today. And I know how good we all work together, and I thought, well, it won't take us very long that way either. And so I decided really it wasn't that urgent. So I'm sorry, but I didn't make it in. You know, but it looks like it's all going to be okay anyway. Well, the father was puzzled, and then he got angry that Joe had agreed to do something, and he didn't do it. He'd made a commitment, didn't follow through. He didn't teach him to act like that. But wait a minute. Was it possible that this was not always the most reliable son? The father thought he could count on Joe, since John said he wouldn't do it. Despite his disappointment with Joe, he must now turn his attention to the urgent overwork due, trying to dismiss the fact that Joe had not done what he had agreed to do. However, as the father checked on the work, it was done. How did that happen if Joe didn't come to work and neither did John? Was Joe just fooling around again and really did do his job? Oh, it must have been that, the father thought. And he was relieved that Joe had honored his commitment. It says, "Your brother told me he didn't come to work yesterday, and I was pretty upset, but now I see the work is done, so Joe must have just been joking around with me again, you know? Huh, what a guy." Now, John, the other son, didn't quite know how to respond to his dad, but he felt the need to tell him what had really happened in his absence. John replied to his father, "Dad, Joe didn't come. He didn't show up yesterday. I didn't even know that you had asked him to come. But after I got up yesterday, I got to thinking about the work and how much money was involved and the problem it would cause if it wasn't done until today. I knew it just couldn't wait, so I changed my mind and came to work yesterday and finished the job late last night." The father was astonished, yet he was thrilled that John had changed his mind and been committed to the family and to the family's livelihood. What a great guy. He knew he could count on him. He was disappointed in Joe, yet it was Joe, and sometimes Joe just didn't understand the ins and outs of the business like John did. The money was not lost, and the father loved both of his sons, and so he just decided to let it go until another time. So I ask you, what do you think? A man had 2 sons. He went to the first and said, "Son, go and work in the vineyard today." The boy answered, "I will not." But later he had a change of heart and went. The father went to the second son and said the same thing. This boy answered, "I will go, sure," but he didn't go. Which of the 2 did his father's will? Obviously, it was the son who did the work. Being excellent goes a long way in life, and especially in family relationships. The father had a choice to make. He could stay angry with his son, have a falling out over this problem, or he could live and let it go. Now, he was a wise father, and I believe he chose the better option. Families must love each other, even when they are disappointed or angry with one another. And forgiveness must be offered, and love must rule. And I believe that's what happened here. The father loved both of his sons, and they were both basically good workers. Possibly John had a little bit more of a business mind than Joe. The father accepted Joe and John's strengths and weaknesses, knowing that he had strengths and weaknesses as well. No one person makes the best choices all the time, and I would like to think that Joe did ask for forgiveness. So it was just time to move on. The father was a good man and believed the best in his boys and hoped he would be able to count on both of them if the need would ever arise again. The father was glad to be home, and the boys, well, they were glad to have their dad back. There's just no place like home. Coming home again, miss my family and friends. Seems like such a long time since I was home, sweet home. Kick my shoes off, let down my hair, fall into my easy chair. Smells of the kitchen, warmth that I feel lets me know love is real. Home, sweet home, I'll just click my heels and I'm there. Home, sweet home, memories that we share. Coming home again.
my family and friends. Seems like such a long time since I was home, sweet home. Smiles of the children welcome me home as they tell me about all the things that went on. We sit at the table, sip some tea. Oh, how blessed can one life be? Home, sweet home. I'll just click my heels and I'm there. Home, sweet home. Memories that we share. Home, sweet
Now, Joe and John both learned valuable lessons. Hopefully, Joe learned that if I make a commitment to something or to someone, it's best to follow through with it. And John, on the other hand, knew in his heart that if his father asks him for help, he probably really needs it. More than likely, this story is relatable to our lives as well. We must depend on people, and sometimes people will disappoint us, while other times they will surprise us. Yet it's vital that we learn to love. And a big part of love is that word forgiveness. Another word, acceptance of each other's strengths and weaknesses. Believe it or not, we all have both strengths and weaknesses. And it might be best to ask for forgiveness the next time we fall short. It's vitally important to offer that forgiveness when it's needed, because we all fall short of our commitments. We're human, and part of being human is learning from our mistakes and moving forward. I believe this is what Joe, John, and their father did in this story. What a great example of love, forgiveness, acceptance, and grace. Life was good, business was booming, and the family was back together again.
When you smile, you open your heart to let everyone you meet see and feel the joy of Jesus. Smiles all around, rainbow-filled clouds, laughter in the sun. Another day has come, sweet-smelling rose, hearts are aglow. The grass is so green, leaves smile through the trees. Beauty is not so rare, can be found most anywhere. Open your heart to the sounds. Creation is calling now. So smile a while, even in your darkest trial. Find the joy in every mile. So go ahead and smile. Just go ahead and smile.
How many times have you found yourself needing to ask for forgiveness? Said we would do something for someone and didn't do it for whatever reason. Maybe we forgot. How many more times will we need forgiveness from others as well as from God? Sometimes we make commitments and we have every intention of keeping those commitments, yet we don't. We get overwhelmed. We need a break. We take on too much because we don't know when to say no or how to say no or don't want to say no to the request.
Change the channel. Let's go to the movies. I'm just too busy. I gotta go to work. Hurry, you're gonna be late. It's so loud in here. I live in a very busy world where my mind never sits still. Constant noise fills the air like I'm on a tilt-a-whirl. I want to stop, I want to slow down, but there doesn't seem to be time. Lie after lie, I start to believe this world's got a hold on me. My soul longs for the quiet place in the Lord. My of the Lord, where there is peace, where there is joy. My soul longs to be with the Lord. The life I want and try to find has escaped me for far too long. This world doesn't give me what I need. What I need only comes from the Lord. Now I live my days with hope and faith, filled with joy and peace. My mind and soul have found sweet relief, 'cause my time belongs to the Lord. My soul longs for the quiet place in the Lord. My soul rests in the quiet place of the Lord, where there is peace, where there is joy. My soul longs to be with the Lord.
So the best thing for us to do is just to let our yes be yes and our no be no. We are simply learning to be like God, who honors all of his commitments to us. Will we ever achieve perfection? Not in this life. But with God's help, we can reflect his righteousness more and more every day. We can be resolved. We can know that God has made commitments to us, and he will honor them. He loves us. He will never fail us. Of this we can be sure. Now, men, they're going to make mistakes because we're human, and people will disappoint us sometimes. But God does not. God is our rock, the one we can count on to do what he says he will do. God's commitment to us can be seen on the cross. He loved us so much that he sent his only son, Jesus, to die for our sins, so we could be forgiven and come to know the integrity of God. God is faithful. He is true, and he will never leave us or fail us. His yes is yes, and his no is no. And he teaches us to do the same. So let your yes be yes and your no be no, and stay true to your word, so we can be known as men and women of excellence, honor, and integrity in all of life's adventures.
To book Trina for your next event or happening, or to start your free subscription of Weekly Tringles, go to TrinaWyckoff.com. Trina is spelled like a tree and Wyckoff with an I. And remember, you are blessed to be a blessing. You've been listening to Pocket Full of Sunshine with Trina Wyckoff. We hope you have been encouraged and lifted up in your spirits today. May the Lord bless you and give you great success in all you do. Now go out and be that pocket full of sunshine to your world.
Be that pocket full of sunshine on the cloudy day. Shine the light of heaven with your song of praise. Be that pocket full of sunshine everywhere you go, everywhere you are. Let his sunlight flow. Trust the Lord to keep you. He's faithful in all things. Serve the Lord with gladness. His joy will be your strength. Be that pocket full of sunshine on the cloudy day. Shine the light of heaven with your song of praise. Be that pocket full of sunshine everywhere you go, everywhere you are. Let his sunlight glow. Everywhere you are, let his sun